Thank you for listening to My Pain Web. Despite all that modern medicine offers, chronic pain often worsens and becomes more complicated over time. Connecting to My Pain Web empowers you to take charge of your chronic pain. We'll help you achieve some quality of life as you face your own obstacles of living with chronic pain. You are listening to My Pain Web podcast, episode number 9, Who's in Charge? Today we're talking about who's in charge and that you must be the CEO of your chronic pain. So let's get started. Hey everybody, Steve Connick here. Welcome to My Pain Web podcast. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The My Pain Web podcast is the place where we talk about what it means to be suffering in a pain web. We listen, we share, we connect, we clarify, we cry, and we laugh. Together we empower and motivate to create confidence, worth, and self-esteem. My Pain Web helps you achieve a quality of life as you face the obstacles of living with chronic pain. You can connect to many chronic pain details and information at mypainweb.com. Come back often and feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter at mypainweb and on Facebook. Now, today's show discusses who's in charge and that you must be the CEO of your chronic pain. Today's brief but very important podcast is a perfect segue from the previous podcast, number 8, where we discussed in terms of the options for chronic pain treatment and the nature of the contradictions and the controversies that involve those treatment options for managing chronic pain. Today's podcast takes it a little step further and talks about, well, in a sense, really, who is in charge? My Pain Web has allowed me to understand that I must be in charge of my chronic pain, continually searching for answers to questions like, what do I need to know and do to reduce and manage my chronic pain? Why does so much confusion and controversy exist in the treating of chronic pain? Where do I find the effective treatments to help me return to a productive quality of life? How many people out there are suffering with chronic pain and are continuing to worsen over time despite a myriad of expensive and extensive medical interventions? It's obvious chronic pain is a silent epidemic. Now, in the previous podcast, we talked about many statistics that support the fact that those living in chronic pain are in epidemic proportions. So, look back, re-listen to podcast 8, and all of the statistical facts that you want are found there. You can also click on mypainweb.com, go to the My Pain Web Help section, and look at the options, controversy, and contradictions section, and also the one labeled for this podcast, Who's in Charge? And there you can become refamiliarized with some very, very staggering facts. For example, in talking about chronic pain due to back pain, lumbar fusion is a very favorite method to do for those that have chronic long-term pain. And there's been a 500% decrease in the number of fusions done from 1992 to 2002. That the rate of back surgery in the United States is at least 40% higher than in any other countries, and 5 times more than the rate of those in England. More controversy is the fact that Americans consume about 80% of the global opioid supply and 99% of the world's global hydrocodone, which is a very strong opiate supply. Yet, the United States only comprises 4.6% of the world population. And from 1997 to 2007, in that 10-year period, retail sales for some of the strongest prescription narcotics, like oxycodone, fentanyl, and methadone, have increased up to 1,293% in that 10-year period. So the facts that support the epidemic growing proportion of chronic pain is growing. I'm merely just bringing out a few of the statistical items. Many, many more are found at mypainweb.com. The importance here is, well, really, who is in charge? With a almost 1,300% increase in pharmaceutical sales, you would think, well, geez, it must be the big pharmacies, the big pharmaceutical conglomerates who are in charge. Or the fact that the number of surgeries that are being done, especially on the spine, are growing by leaps and bounds, as we talked about in previous podcasts as well. Maybe the spine surgeons are in charge of the chronic pain. Or maybe even more concerning is some of the headlines that reveal the kickbacks and additional claims that surgeons are reaping huge additional revenues in different royalty capacities from different partners that are involved in the spinal fusion surgery industry. It's got to make you wonder, who's in charge? Well, with my chronic pain now eclipsing about 20 years, I feel I must be the CEO of my chronic pain. I have to be in charge of my chronic pain because obviously, despite all the advances in modern medicine, all the plethora of additional opioid medications, the myriad of diagnostic equipment that is available, my pain continues to worsen. I have no choice but to take charge, and I am in charge of my chronic pain. You must be in charge of your chronic pain. It's not to say that all that medicine has to offer is not good. Don't get me wrong. There are many, many stories of people with chronic pain undergoing various procedures. Over time, they improve. There's no question about that. I'm not debating that. What I am talking about are the millions of people who are not improving. Their pain is worsening, and it's not the patient's fault. What we have to do is take charge. Connecting is taking charge. What do I mean by connecting? Connecting to others, your family, your friends, your doctors. If you have religious leaders, those are people in your life that you need to stay connected with. Reach out to those people and let them know that you're struggling with chronic pain, and you're going to tap into many of those people that you're connecting with are also struggling with chronic pain. By them listening to you and you listening to them, you're trying to help them by offering specifics of your pain web that will not only help them, but it's also going to help you in return. See, this connection works both ways. You're gaining confidence and satisfaction that you are creating the feeling of being motivated and some confidence, because as someone reaches out and connects to you, you're able to listen and share with them your pain web. You will be helping those who suffer with chronic pain by knowing, the same way that my goal, my aim is to be helping you with mypainweb.com with your chronic pain. It's helping you, but it's also helping me. See, this awakens your core value of self-worth. That value, that feeling begins the process of powering the momentum that you need to realize that you are in control, that you are controlling your pain web, that you are your CEO of your chronic pain. It's not the pharmaceutical companies. It's not the device manufacturers that develop and provide implanted devices for spine surgeries and all kinds of others. It's none of that. It's you that are taking charge to manage your chronic pain. mypainweb.com offers an Ask Me feature, and quite simply, click on that and you can connect to me with questions or comments that you have. If this is a key area in managing your pain web that you really want to be successful at, reach out. Use the internet. It is an unbelievable source of understanding and power to help you learn specifics about your pain web. You must be the CEO of your healthcare. Informed decisions concerning your chronic pain must be made by you, and you're partnering with your doctor. You want to be able to reach decisions about what's best for you in a mutual fashion. And by doing that, you have a role of being the chief executive officer of you. And this is how you create confidence and motivation that helps you improve your quality of life. So I'm hoping this particular quick podcast of who's in charge hits home and that you can connect to it. Now, if you'd like more information, more details about who's in charge, visit mypainweb.com. Questions or comments, please send me an email at help@mypainweb.com. You can always comment on my Facebook for My Pain Web or Twitter at My Pain Web. Thank you for listening, and remember that some quality of life can exist with chronic pain. I look forward to our future podcasts, and thank you for taking the time to listen to My Pain Web podcast, Episode 9, Who's in Charge? Thank you.